Hello, my first graders. Today we're on lesson 23, or I should say this week we're on lesson 23. I'm going to start with our words to know. You ready? House, along, together, boy, father, again, nothing, began. One more time through. House, along, together, boy, father, again, nothing, began. So let me point a few things out about our words. So here's our word house. There's O-U in there. House, house. Along, or sometimes some people say along. So you have their A and then ong, right? Like ing, but with the O. So instead of ing, it's ong. A long, along. Together. So an easy way to remember together, I like to say to get her. To get her. For some reason when I was a kid, that's how I broke it apart to remember. Now, really, if you were sounding this out, you have to, and then together, because we know ER makes that sound, together. But to get her is always, if you notice that word, that's all in there. To get her. Together. Boy. Okay, the OY has the OY sound at the end. Father. Now, if you were to sound this out, you might say father. But it's not father, it's father. Father. And we have the ER at the end. Right? Our TH, father. Again. We have the AI in it, but it's not again, it's again. Nothing. Okay, and to break that apart, you can say nothing or no thing. Nothing means like if you have nothing, you have no thing. Nothing. Okay, and there's our word thing. TH, and then ing makes our ing sound. Nothing or no thing. Nothing. Began. You see the word be, and then began. All right. Make sure that you take time to practice your words this week. Okay, if you go to our lesson 23 room, our book room, lesson 23 book room, you will see a picture of all of these words, right? Same thing, and you can go back through and read your words to know in sentences. Okay, let's preview our topic. A pet can be a good friend. A cat can cuddle. A dog can play with a ball. What kinds of pets do you know about? Have you ever had a pet? Pets need care. They need to be fed. Some need to be walked. What pet would you like best? You will read about a boy and his pet dog in Whistle for Willie. So our story this week is Whistle for Willie. And you're going to see that the little boy has a dog, his pet dog. And you're going to see how they play together. Okay, Whistle for Willie by Ezra Jack Keats. And here's Ezra Jack Keats. If you want to read more about him, right, you can go on Think Central and read about him. Ezra Jack Keats, not only does he write Whistle for Willie, but there are many other popular stories that he writes. For example, one that you probably have read or seen before is The Snowy Day. And he uses the same characters in his story. So you see the same characters. The little boy shows up again and again, and so does his little dog. So this is a realistic fiction. Okay, realistic fiction means it is a fake story. Ezra Jack Keats said, nope, I made this up. I made this story up. However, it's called realistic fiction because the things that happen in this book could possibly be real. Okay? Nothing weird happens. There's no talking animals. Okay? The characters do things that normal people would do. Okay? And it seems like it could be real, but Ezra Jack Keats says, nope, I made this story up. This is just a story that I thought of and wrote down. So it's realistic fiction. It's a fiction story, but it seems like it could possibly be real. Whistle for Willie. Oh, how Peter wished he could whistle. So here's Peter. Okay, so this character Peter shows up in a lot of his Ezra Jack Keats stories. He saw a boy playing with his dog. Whenever the boy whistled, the dog ran straight to him. So there we go. He sees a guy playing with a dog. Whenever he whistled, the dog ran to the boy. But now it says Peter wished he could whistle. So can Peter whistle? No. Can you whistle? Maybe. Peter tried and tried to whistle, but he couldn't. So instead, he began to turn himself around. Around and around he whirled, faster and faster. When he stopped, everything turned down and up and up and down and around and around. So he couldn't whistle, so instead he's spinning. So when you turn yourself around and around, that means you're spinning around and around and around, right? And think about when you spin around. Things look like they're all over the place, right? Moving around. You get dizzy. Peter saw his dog Willie coming. Quick as a wink, he hid in an empty carton lying on the sidewalk. Wouldn't it be funny if I whistled? Peter thought. Willie would stop and look all around to see who it was. Peter tried again to whistle, but still he couldn't. So Willie just walked on. So here's Peter. Do you see him hiding in the box? So an empty carton lying on the sidewalk means like an empty box. He's hiding. Here's his dog. Why didn't his dog stop? Because he didn't see Peter hiding, right? He didn't see him. He couldn't hear him because he tried to whistle, but it didn't work, right? Remember, so if you whistle, it gets the attention of someone. So he can't get the attention of his dog, right? Because he's hiding in the box. It says, quick as a wink, he hid in an empty carton. What does quick as a wink mean? Think about when you wink. You do it real fast, right? So quick as a wink means he hid super fast so that his dog Willie couldn't see him. Peter got out of the carton and started home. On the way, he took some colored chalks out of his pocket and drew a long, long line right up to his door. Do you see the long line? Right up to the door of his house, right? When you see this is like a barber stance. It's a hair cuttery place. He stood there and tried to whistle again. He blew until his cheeks were tired, but nothing happened. So again, he's still working on trying to whistle. So if you want to do something, right? If you want to learn something new or you want to be able to do something new, you have to keep trying, right? So he's still trying, but nothing happens. So sometimes you keep trying and trying, nothing's happening. Eventually, does something happen? Maybe, right? But he's got to keep trying. He went into his house and put on his father's old hat to make himself feel more grown up. He looked into the mirror to practice whistling. Still no whistle. So did you see his dad's hat on his head? There's two of him because he's looking into a what? a mirror. He's looking into a mirror. He makes himself feel more grown up, right? Think that's helping him whistle? No, but he's still trying, right? When his mother saw what he was doing, Peter pretended that he was his father. He said, "I've come home early today, dear. Is Peter here?" His mother answered, "Why, no, he's outside with Willie." "Well, I'll go out and look for them," said Peter. So when he's talking to his mom, he's pretending to be his dad, right? And she's saying, "Nope, Peter's outside," right? Does mom know he's pretending? Yeah. First, he walked along a crack in the sidewalk. Then he tried to run away from his shadow. He jumped off his shadow, but when he landed, they were together again. Can you jump away from your shadow? Is that possible? No, right? Your shadow is always going to follow you. He came to the corner where the carton was. And who should he see? But Willie. Do you think Willie sees him? Oh, Peter sees Willie. What do you think he's going to do? Peter scrambled under the carton. He blew and blew. Suddenly, out came a real whistle. Willie stopped and looked around to see who it was. Whoa, so look what happened. Peter, he scrambled, right? So that means he's real quick. He's like trying to get underneath the carton, and he blew and blew. What did he do? Yeah, he whistled. A whistle came out. Now Willie, does Willie know he's under the carton? Not yet. How do you know? Because he's looking around, right? He's looking around to see who was it. He heard that whistle, so he stops. Oh, somebody's whistling. "It's me!" Peter shouted and stood up. Willie raced straight to him. So there he is. He's running to Peter. Now he sees Peter. Peter ran home to show his father and mother what he could do. They loved Peter's whistling. So did Willie. How do you know Willie likes his whistling too? What do you see him doing? He's getting up on his hind legs, right? It's like, oh, pretty cool. I see he's whistling to me. Peter's mother asked him and Willie to go on an errand to the grocery store. He whistled all the way there, and he whistled all the way home. So now that Peter can whistle, he's doing it all the time. And look at Willie. What's Willie doing? He's following him, right? His dog is following him to the store and back again. All right. So what can we learn from Peter and his attempt to whistle? Do we learn something from this story? Yeah. Did he have to keep trying to whistle? Yes, in the beginning he couldn't do it, but he tried and he tried again and he tried some more, and finally he was able to whistle. Do you think his dog's going to keep liking him whistling? I think so. All right, my first graders, make sure that you go on to Think Central and read this story. It will be up all week long. I want you practicing reading this story.